Culture swap?
Culture swap. Swap my culture. What do we do?
Liam, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
So, as everyone knows, every year, the person whose birthday it is, the person whose birthday it is gets to pick
That is
what
every
the
year.
other person will watch. Yeah, but we have 2 a year, so it doesn't really work.
Makes sense.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. People understood what I meant. I don't know why I questioned it. Anyway, we got off to rocky starts when we started this because Liam thought I'd picked one just to be a dick to him and then tried to, for a year, threatened to pick a really bad one. But he didn't in the end. But so we've come out of that now. What? Go on, stop putting a face. What are you going to say?
How did we get so
The
far
first-
to a rocky start?
The first time we did it, I can't, was it the first one where I picked Princess Mononoke?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got so... It's legitimately maybe the only time on the show where you have been actually angry. And not like our kind of jokey anger where we're arguing. It was legitimate anger because you thought I'd been a dick.
You made me
And I
break a
wasn't.
pact to the audience, yeah.
No, you made up a pact to the audience.
And
so
then you made me
whatever.
break it.
Whatever. So Liam threw a hissy fit and then threatened to be a dick every birthday afterwards. But luckily,
wasn't.
listeners, no, you weren't, and we got past it.
Yeah,
And
the
we grew
my
as
last
people.
birthday one, I believe, I suggested we do your sister's sister.
Yeah, and that was actually a good one.
I wanted
So,
to give you a good mumblecore.
Yeah, and we've come round. We're all friends again.
Well, no, you nearly fucked it up again this year, but you saw sense.
Whatever.
You were going to pick some, 22 episode anime series.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, and then instead
Still
you
might.
picked Her Story.
You don't know
Which-
what I've done for Christmas, so don't worry about it. So this year, for Liam's birthday, I allowed him to pick 2 films, which
Yep.
made sense because they're sequels. Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Yes.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Listeners, we are going to spoil the shit out of these 2 films.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen them, go away and watch them. They're very, you'll just have a good time.
Unless
So
you're cat.
Go do it. Unless you're cat. Even if you don't like ABBA, you'll probably like these films.
Unless
I don't
you're
like
cat.
ABBA. I liked these films. Cat just doesn't like the films.
Or ABBA.
Or ABBA.
Yeah. Right, so it's no secret on the show, I like musicals.
We both do.
Yeah. I hadn't seen Mamma Mia until the day before Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again came out in the UK.
Oh, that's right. I remember. I think you said on the podcast.
Yeah, so, because I wasn't sure if I was going to go see the sequel, because I knew I'd have to go by myself, and I knew it'd be
Yeah, and you were going to be in a cinema full of...
women.
Yeah.
So I watched the first one for the first time. Kat tried to watch it with me. She
Hated it.
lasted about 30 seconds and just noped it out.
Yep.
I had a good time, but I find with musicals, if I like them, I'll sort of appreciate it the first time, but I won't really love it until my second viewing.
Okay.
And that's why I wanted to do this for my culture swap, because this was going to be my second viewing of the 2 films. Also, the sequel only came out on Blu-ray and stuff last Monday.
Yeah.
So it's quite a new release, and I was just so eager to watch it again, and I thought, hey, tie it into Culture Swap. I think Ellie will like these. Perfect.
It was a good guess.
It was. I mean, the other thing is, I haven't had the best of years, as long-term listeners from last year will know. Sort of the day before my birthday last year, I got some not great news, and it has sort of thrown a bit of a shadow over life. And it was just watching the first film. It was just so pure and joyous that it kind of made me forget about my worries for an hour, 50 minutes. And then watching the second was even more joyous. Probably isn't the word, because the second one's more emotional.
Yeah.
But it was just such a wonderful film experience.
Yeah.
That I couldn't help but just love it a lot. So, should we talk about the first film individually?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm going to briefly set up the plot.
I mean, it's not too complicated, to be fair.
No, but let's see if I can make it.
So, yeah, you might be able to.
You have our
So,
main...
listeners, this is the history of ABBA. You need to know this to understand.
The other thing, I obviously know the big ABBA songs, but I'm not a particular ABBA fan. I haven't really listened until I watched these. I never listened to their music or anything.
I know a lot of ABBA songs just because they got played a lot when I was a kid.
But you wouldn't listen to an ABBA playlist on Spotify.
I don't think I've ever sat down and be like, I'm going to listen to ABBA.
Exactly. So the way these musicals work is they tell a story, but they just throw in ABBA songs at different points that sort of somewhat relate to the story, But
they do quite a good job of relating to the story, I'd say.
It's a film in the same vein as if anyone's seen Across the Universe, which sort of does this but with Beatles songs, where it tells a story but then it uses the songs to accentuate points of that story. It's not like most musicals where the songs will be actually written. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say here. Our main character is Sophie. She's getting married. It's very exciting.
To Sky.
Her mum owns Donna owns a hotel on a Greek island. Sophie.
You don't remember the name of the island?
I don't remember the name of the island. Does it have a name?
Yeah.
What is it?
Literally every description on when you're looking at them on Amazon is like, the cast returned to the Greek island of Karakoli or something. Karakeli or something? Karakeli?
That sounds right, yeah.
It's something like that.
Okay. Sophie has found her mum's diary because she doesn't know who her father is, and she wants her father to give her away.
Her mum raised her as a single mum.
Yeah. By reading the diary, she discovers that she has one of 3 potential fathers.
Her mum had a little bit of a thing with 3 guys around the same time, and she was never sure which one of them got her pregnant.
Exactly. And they also, none of them knows about Sophie.
Yeah, none of them know that they might be the dad.
Yeah. So all they know is they've been invited to this wedding. They think by Donna, and then aware that it's a ruse for Sophie, who thinks that as soon as she sees her father, she'll instantly know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's the setup to the film. What did you think?
It's a good film. It's the first one is definitely just a feel-good film.
Yeah.
There's like a couple of scenes where contention happens, like Sophie falls out with Donna at one point because she just yells at her that she blames her for, after her mum discovers that she's invited these 3 exes.
Yeah.
Her mum's having like a freak out, then eventually figures out that Sophie invited them and is like, why did you do this? And then Sophie's like, well, you never, I didn't know who my dad was, you should have blah blah blah, and then runs out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, they're having a falling out.
Yeah.
But then they resolve it. And then I think at one point she falls out with Sky and deals with that very quickly as well.
Yeah. Because Sky,
understandably, the whole Sky thing was very understandable because she's like, I've secretly invited my 3 dads and not told you. And Sky's like, yeah, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, you would have said no. And he's like, is this the only reason you're having a big wedding?
Yeah.
Because all Sky wants to do is travel the world with Sophie. That's like his dream.
Yeah, and he also, like, he would have been perfectly happy to just, he said, go over to the mainland.
Yeah.
He
effectively just elope with
Yeah.
like a couple of witnesses and have a small wedding.
Yeah. What were your like highlights of the film?
I really enjoyed Colin Firth. Is it Colin Firth?
He plays
Harry.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Colin Firth as Harry, who is maybe the most adorable of the 3 dads.
Oh, 100%.
He's just a lovely human being in this film.
Yeah, I think one of my favourite scenes, and there are many, is so she initially goes to Pierce Brosnan, who plays
Sam,
and she's like, I think you're my father. I want you to give me away at the wedding. And this is all happening like during Sky's stag do and her hen do. And as the night progresses, the other 2 dads, Bill, who's played by Stellan Skarsgård, who you might recognise from some of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, he plays the Professor in Thor
and Avengers.
Yeah.
So he sort of figures it out, and it's like, oh, I know why you've invited me. You want me to give you away. And then Harry also figures it out and is like, you don't even have to ask. I won't let you walk down the aisle by yourself. I'll be there.
Yeah, that is a very good scene.
It's so good. I also really like the scene where she's getting ready and Meryl Streep is singing a little song to her. Yeah.
Well, if listeners didn't notice, if you only follow the like Nerd on Nerd account and not Liam, not our personal accounts, Liam was sort of live tweeting, not quite, because he got distracted by how good the film was.
Yeah.
But Liam was sort of live tweeting his experience watching both films.
Yeah. So Kat went away for a couple of days, and I did what any young red-blooded man would do when, you know, the girl's away, so Liam's going to play. I had a girls' night in.
Yep, you did.
I ordered pizza, poured myself 2 bottles of wine, and I watched these 2 films back to back. Oh, and ate lots of sweets.
Yep. You spilled them on the floor at one point.
I did.
That was very dramatic.
Trying to like collect the ones from under the sofa was a fucking nightmare.
You should have just left them.
I can't do that. Anyway, so yeah, I was sort of half-life tweeting, and that scene, it just gets me.
It has one of the best videos that Liam posted of the night, in my opinion, of Liam just getting very emotional very quickly when that scene comes on.
It's just so beautiful.
It is like, I'll admit, brought a little tear to my eye when I was watching that scene as well.
Yeah, Amanda was tweeting me shade about it, which I'm going to read out now. Name and shame.
Call her out, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm going to. She tweeted me in response to that video saying, "Are you tearing up?" And I responded saying, "No, you're tearing up," because I'm mature. I said, "It's just so good, Amanda," and she said, "Ha ha, I just wondered. That song is my least favourite from the first movie." So I tweeted the gif of the dude that looks really confused and all the question marks appear around his face.
Yeah.
And she responded saying, "It's overly sappy, and I don't like how it's the only one that is out of sync with the timeline of the movie. It goes all montagey and dreamlike suddenly. Blah, but you're not the only person I know who likes it." No, I'm not, Amanda. Ellie likes it
In my
too.
opinion, that song, the song itself, not a fan of. I agree with Amanda. But the scene itself, I was a fan of.
It was so good.
But I think the song, I don't particularly like that song. A lot of ABBA songs, the ones that were enjoyable in this film, and I would like to raise a point here, listeners, I don't like ABBA songs, but the thing I enjoy about these films is there's like an almost karaoke element to it, where it's these people singing ABBA songs.
Oh, and they're not
That's what I
professional
enjoy.
singers.
No. Pierce Brosnan is... That man has a voice.
He has a voice.
He does have a voice.
He does.
But that's the bit I enjoy, is the fact that it's sort of karaoke. But so, like, I don't know, that song, I don't know, didn't fit the vibe of the rest of the songs in the film, really.
Yeah.
Because it's a very, like, you know, you've got
It's
Dancing
a slower
Queen.
song. Yeah. It's
Which, to be fair, I think we said before on the podcast that most musicals have that one song in them. Like, High School Musical has one song every film that is a slow,
yeah, normally a Vanessa Hudgens
emotional
solo.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still just find it beautiful.
Yeah, again, I cried in that scene.
Yeah.
So
it did something right.
Yeah.
The other scene I love when Dancing Queen kicks in.
Yeah.
So good. I quite like how they like incorporate SOS into it as well.
Yeah.
That's good. And
I liked Tanya's song with the guy that's trying to pick her up.
Yeah.
And Tanya is one of Donna the mum's best friends.
Yeah.
They were in like a girl band when they were in school.
Yeah.
And two of her friends come to the island to see the wedding as well.
Yeah.
And Tanya's just like this really posh.
Has had plastic surgery. That's one of the running jokes. Yeah.
Yeah. She's had 4 husbands and is just looking for like a young Greek lad to sweep her off her feet.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning is flirting with the barman, but then he just sort of becomes obsessed with her.
Yeah.
So she just does this little song where she sort of puts him in his place.
Yeah, basically says she's a bit too much for him to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And judging by how that song goes, she was.
Yeah, 100%. I love... So, Tanya is played by Christine Baranski, who is in like loads of stuff, but I actually recognise her most as being Leonard's mum in Big Bang Theory.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is a
very different character.
Incredibly different character. So,
yeah.
Obviously, that like she is in loads of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of musicals as well, actually. She was in Chicago, Into the Woods. They're both musicals. I say a lot. At least 2.
2.
No, she is in a... Like, her IMDb lists her as an actress with 80 credits.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she's in a lot of stuff. A lot of TV stuff as well, but yeah. I think she's great. And also Julie Walters, who plays the other friend, Rosie.
Yeah.
Given some just fantastic moments in both the films.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I loved... I don't know why, but I really loved when they get off the boat and Donna and them have a little rhyme they say where it's like, I'm tall, I'm short. It's like, I'm tall, I'm tough, I'm short or something. And it's just this really cheap... They're like proper just childhood friends.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I like how there's a bit of a running joke as well that like Julia Walters' character doesn't really dance to the same level as the rest of them.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yep.
There's another song that I really like how it's used. I can't remember the name of the song though. It's the one about money.
Is it just called Money?
Oh, it's called Money, Money, Money.
Okay.
But
yeah, which happens when... That's in the scene where she doesn't have money, right?
Yeah,
Like
and
Donna's
she's like,
talking about how poor she is.
yeah, and how the hotel isn't really making money and things are all falling
she's
apart. Yeah.
Which it is.
Like, the thing with the film like this is some of the songs work really well with the narrative, and then others are just sort of thrown in there because they kind of loosely tie in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter.
No, because the film is just it's having a good time. You're having a good time.
Exactly.
It's hard not to sing along with the ones you know.
Yeah. So there's one scene that I'm not a huge fan of.
Okay, go on.
And it's the scene after Donna has spent the day on the boat with the three potential fathers, and she comes back, and she's like talking to Sky, and then all the guys.
You mean Sophie, not Donna?
Yeah, sorry, Sophie. Yeah.
Come on, Liam.
Sorry, I'm just so excited. She's talking to Sky, and then all of the guys come to take him away for the stag do.
Oh, did you not like that?
It's
Honestly, the little dance that the stag boys do, I thought was so good.
The one
where
they're in their flippers.
Yes,
and they're
it's
all
so
on a
good.
pier.
I really liked it. I'm not even kidding. I genuinely liked that scene.
I like the dance. I just wasn't a big fan of the song.
I can't remember what song it is they do, but I loved the weird fucking dance. Because it looked, the way they shot it was very. It felt like a stereotypical stag do where, like in all the other songs, everyone's very choreographed and dancing together. But then the way they've shot that is they're all on a pier and they're all sort of doing a synchronized dance. But then as it pans across, you have like groups of them doing different sort of like lads on tour dances.
Yeah.
Like 4 of them are doing the like German beer hall dance, and like I was just like, this is very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the cast are all great. Everyone is given like a good moment to shine.
Yeah.
You actually messaged me at one point in the film being like saying, oh, is this character going to get fucked over?
It's right at the end. There's basically you get this whole like, you get the revelation that none of them know who the dad is, and then they have this moment where Sam, Harry and Bill are all like, well, we don't care, even if you're just a third our daughter. That's good enough.
That's another one of my favourite scenes where I think it's Harry who's just like, I'll take a third.
Yeah, because he's been talking. Oh, poor Harry. The whole film, like Sam has already had this other, like he's got 2 older kids and divorced his wife. Bill like just lives this explorer life where he goes around the world, and Harry's just a bank manager.
Yeah,
and he has this moment where they're like, "Oh, so do you have kids?" And he's just like, "No, but I always wanted one." And at that point, I was like, I just really want Harry to be the dad. Like, I get that they're all emotionally bound to this. Bill doesn't really want her to be.
Yeah.
Like, he'd have been just as happy at the end of the film if she was like, Bill's not my dad. He'd have been like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Sam would have been like, oh, okay, I've got Donna, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted Harry to be the dad so bad.
That is fair.
Because I think he even says at one point, he's like, oh, if I had a daughter, like, I'd have just...
Spoiled her
done
wrong.
everything. Yeah. And I was just like, he's so adorable and lovely.
Honestly, Colin Firth, just... I haven't seen him in like a lot of things, but in this he's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Considering like it is like a relatively minor part in the grand scheme of things. Like the amount of screen time he gets isn't a huge amount.
Yeah, the main dad in air quotes is Sam. Like
Yeah.
he's the one that gets a lot of the airtime because he's the one that Donna ends up with.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so so they end up with the 1/3 dad thing.
Yeah.
But you then get Sam proposing to Donna.
Yes.
And her saying yes. You have Harry, who has come out as gay and clearly has met a Greek guy that he's enjoying.
Yep.
And then you just get Bill, who he looks sad because Sam proposed to Donna.
Yeah.
Like, because Bill is the only other dad. Because Harry's gay and doesn't actually want to be with Donna, Bill sort of has this thing where he still kind of does want to be.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, is he going to get fucked over? But then he immediately falls in love with Donna's best mate, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh, okay, it's solved.
And that's what I kind of messaged back to you. Like, one of the things I like about this film is everyone ends on a high note.
Yeah. Yeah, no one ends up happy in this film. Ends up sad in this film.
No.
They all end up happy.
Yeah, it is just pure, like, joyous escapism.
Yeah.
And especially, like, with all of the shit that's going on in the world, it's nice to just put that on pause for nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, just a happy film.
Yeah, exactly. I think we need more films like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd argue Greatest Showman is pretty close.
That's true, it is.
And look how well that did.
Yeah.
What would you rate Mamma Mia?
I'm going to give the first one 4 out of 5.
It's a it's everyone's favourite nerd on nerd event where we completely agree.
I've got a feeling we might agree on the second one too.
I think we might. So, the second one, Mamma Mia. Here we go again. I said to you, I don't think you're ready for this.
And I was, but I wasn't prepared for...
You weren't
I was
emotionally ready.
No, because the first one lulls you into a false sense of security by being... The first one is very much... It's got emotional bits in it, but the film is very much just like, here's this love story, here's this other love story, you're just having a good time.
You've got the beautiful location.
Yeah. The second one opens with the reveal that Donna has died.
It's a bold move to open with that.
So I immediately was like messaging Liam like, wait, sorry, Donna's dead.
Yes.
And like, so Sophie has, since the first film, is it set 10 years? I know it was filmed 10 years later.
Yeah, I think it is supposed to be set 10 years later as well, yeah.
So Sophie now owns the hotel and has redone it all, turned it into this, assumedly with Sam's help, because he's an architect and had married Donna. They've rebuilt the hotel into the Belladonna, and they're having a grand opening where all these millionaire guests will be coming and the press will be doing all these releases about it, and Donna is dead.
Yeah. It's heavy.
Yeah, and then just to let you know how this film goes, guys, every other song, I think, I cried. So this film's definitely more emotional than the last one.
It is. I think it's because in such a short space of time, the first film gets you just so on board with these characters and their relationships, and you just because you've had such a good time with them. When this immediately opens and it's like, you're not getting any more of that. It's just like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah. It's also the way that the way I thought about it earlier is the first one tells you the story of Donna's past. Yeah. Like, it just literally goes like, I met Harry, then I met Sam, then I met Bill. I don't know who your dad is. The second film shows you that story, and by showing it, it's just so much more, not painful, but there's like you already know from the first one that Donna and Sam are going to hook up, they're going to fall in love, and then Sam is going to break Donna's heart. Yeah. And I think I've said on the show before, my favourite and most heartbreaking stories for me are two people having a moment that could have been. Yeah. They miss that moment somehow, and instead of being like any other, like when you watch a rom-com and you don't know the ending, it's like, oh, they're going to end up together. Yeah. So that heartbreak doesn't really exist. Yeah. But this film is like, that's going to happen, and then for 20 years, these two characters will not see each other until Mamma Mia 1. Yeah. So you know that their little love story is going to be heartbreaking. Yes. And it fucking is. Yeah. But then not only that, but you're also like, oh, and we're also dealing with the current timeline where Donna is now dead, which is also heartbreaking. Yes, because you have scenes where like Sophie and Sam are having like really tender moments where I think there's a bit where Sophie says it will get better to Sam, and he gives her a hug and he's like, it will, but it hasn't yet. And I was like, oh no. And also, this is so sad. And the other two dads aren't there for ages, and I was worried they weren't going to come back. I had the exact same thing where I was watching it and I was like when it opens and they're talking about this big party, and then and I think a character says, Bill and Harry come in, and it's like, no, and they give excuses why they're both not going to be there. Harry's in Tokyo, Bill's receiving an award for being the best Swede. And I was like, shit, is that just them giving us a reason why these actors aren't going to appear? Like that, I genuinely thought that for the first, same. Because it takes about an hour before they do show up. Yeah. Yes, it does, and it's horrible. It is, but it's so good when they do show up, though. Oh, the second one, I'm doing the little, I don't know what you call it, the Italian perfection move. Yeah. It's so good. It introduces like a couple of new characters. Yeah. You get the new manager of the hotel, who's this like super wise, smooth. I think, is he Greek? Because he speaks Spanish, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't know what he's meant to be, but he is basically there to pay off a song towards the end. He is. That is like his purpose. But he also I just love that he's like that proper stereotypical like mysterious foreign man. Bit of a Lothario, maybe. He's so cool. Like very smooth. Sophie clearly really likes him, like as her manager of her hotel. And there's just I think it's a scene where she says to him, he's like, you just look so happy, and she's like, I'd be happier if you were happy. And then he just like looks into the distance and he's like, I've already told you, Sophie. My woman has come and gone, and I shall never be happy again, but I live with that pain now.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, wow.
Oh, it's so good. So good. The other thing about this film is the casting for all of the like young versions of these characters.
Yeah, I have an issue, Liam.
Okay.
I love them all.
Yeah.
All the young versions were really good.
Yeah.
But when Donna sees them in Mamma Mia 1,
Yeah,
the first time she sees the dads, she sees how they looked when they were kids.
Yes.
As the actual actors, but dressed up in like long hair wigs.
And
when you see the
Sam
young
one,
versions,
yeah,
Sam has long hair, a red
handlebar.
hippie, big handlebar moustache.
Yes.
When you see the young ones in Mamma Mia 2, they do not look like that.
No, they
look very attractive.
Yeah.
And not with handlebar moustaches.
No, there is a slight continuity error there. I will give you that.
Yes.
I'm
That was the only bit that
yeah.
annoyed me. But I get why they did it, because I was like, I would have been less attracted to these men if they had big handlebar moustaches and looked like stereotypical hippies.
I enjoyed the film enough to give it a pass for that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, let's start with young Donna, because I'd seen Lily James in Baby Driver, but she hadn't really like registered in that film for me.
Yeah.
In this film, like when I first watched it and even watching it again, part of the joy for me of this film is just entirely falling in love with like Lily James's character in this film.
Yes, sure.
It's just,
I think it's weird. I get why, but I do think it's a little bit weird how much Liam has fallen in love with his character.
it's crazy. I don't agree with marriage particularly. I don't think it's for me. If Lily James was like, "Will you marry me?" I'd say yes.
Just a reminder to listeners to know how weird this is. Liam does have a current girlfriend
Yeah.
who he's not going to marry.
No. But she's not Lily James, so
Yeah, they cast young Donna very well, and the way they wrote young Donna
Yeah.
feels like the same girl that would have grown into the Donna we know from the first film.
yeah. I just the thing that works for me most with that is she's cool but also kind of dorky.
I love. She goes clothes shopping on the island with Sam.
Yeah.
And Sam's like looking at all these like beautiful dresses, and he turns around and he's like, "This dress would look really good on you." And then she just goes, "You don't know me at all." And she's just bought a pair of like dungarees, which she wears throughout the first film.
Yeah.
And like, you're just like, this girl's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Even
A
like
dork, but cool.
the like opening song.
Yes.
Which is
I Kissed Teacher or whatever it is.
yeah,
I Kissed the
when
Teacher
I kissed
and
the
they
teacher, I
blushed.
think. Yeah, and just her entire performance in that, I was immediately just because like I said, I hadn't really registered her before. I was just immediately like, oh, this is interesting. I wasn't expecting to just instantly be like, this is amazing. And then so she's fantastic.
Her laugh as well
Yeah.
is very good. That's something I know. Like, she has an amazing laugh.
Yes, she does. Is that sort of laugh that just has no like what's the word? No like self-awareness. Like she's not self-conscious when she laughs.
She's just
very pure and
Yeah.
just amazing. The casting for young Tonya and Rosie,
Yeah.
incredible. Especially I think young Rosie.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And they also get some of the funniest moments I think in the film. Like some of the this film I think is funnier than the first one as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, so I don't want to call them like old Tonya and Rosie because that feels mean.
Current, modern.
Yeah.
Modern Tonya and Rosie.
When they first meet the manager,
Yeah.
and Tonya's
Fernando.
line is "Be still my beating vagina."
Oh god, yeah, that's so funny.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's genuinely. I had a massive chuckle at that.
Yeah. And then
Still my beating vagina is a great line.
It's-
And when he's flirting with them and telling them like these like he's like, "Oh, you have,"
yes,
he says to Rosie, you have the bravery of a mountain lion and and like the around whatever it is, the sexual energy of a puma.
Yeah.
And then Tonya's like, "A puma's known for being sexual?" And Rosie's like, no, shush. And then he does the same thing for Tonya, where he's like, something like, your fountain will spring or whatever. And then Rosie turns to her and is like, "Do fountains bloom?" Or whatever it is.
I think. Hang on. It's okay. I found the quote. So he says, "You have the courage of a lion, the passion of a panther, and the wisdom of a flamingo."
Oh, that's it.
And it's "Are flamingos wise?" And Rosie goes, "Let the man speak."
Yeah.
Just that, and also the young versions. When young Rosie is talking about how she deals with heartbreak, and she's basically she just wants to eat cake.
Yeah.
And how that joke just sort of builds up through that scene is perfection.
It's good.
Yeah. So that's the young women. Then you have each of the young men, and what I think was probably the hardest job for this film, but that they just did flawlessly, was have it believable that in the space of about a week or two, young Donna could believably be smitten with each of these three characters.
Yeah.
Without and it's something that's mentioned briefly in the first one, but without really being slutty about it.
Yeah.
Because there's the line at towards the end of the first one, which is you could have slept with 100 men, and I.
Yeah, and then everyone, and then she's like, it's all very beautiful, and then Donna's like, I didn't sleep with 100 men.
Yeah, yeah, and I just think that they could have so easily just misstepped there, and it could have just come across as a little uncomfortable, a little
But
it doesn't.
All three of the characters believably seduce her, but not even in a seducing way.
Just charm her, basically.
They fall in love with her, and she falls in love with them for however brief them. Especially for the young Harry.
Yeah,
that's the hardest one to pull off, because they have that moment over dinner and one night.
Yeah,
Bill she's with for part of a day where she's travelling back and forwards. Sam she's with for a week.
Well, Bill as well. Then he comes back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
young Harry is literally just this one night, and he's the one that I fell in love with because he does the most adorably dorkish but works move where he says, "Can you carry your bag?" They're walking together down this beautiful park in Paris, and then he's like, "Can you put your bag on your other shoulder?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Well, you see, if you do that, then your hand is very casually next to mine, and then I can accidentally brush your hand, which will lead to me holding your hand in a completely natural way."
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's so good.
And then her response is just,
you could just ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also love how the song Waterloo is incorporated between those two, and how they use the same lyrics, but they just change the enunciation almost.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's the way that they use whoa, whoa, whoa when he's coming onto her and she's trying to.
He's going too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're whoa, whoa, whoaing.
It's just so well done.
Yeah, it is.
It's so good. Yeah, I loved all of the characters, young and old versions.
Yeah, 100%.
Loved the songs. I loved that it packed way more emotion, and you have the only character that in both of the films I'm not the biggest fan is Sky.
I like Sky as a character that I get why Sophie likes him.
Yeah,
maybe less so in the first one, and because in the first one his whole plot is just, I'm getting married to Sophie, I have one moment of doubt after she's lied to me, and then it's resolved.
Yeah.
Whereas in the second one, the plot line between Sophie and him is he's been offered this beautiful job in New York.
Yeah.
She's still on the island running the new hotel, and they're like, he doesn't want to say no to the job, so they kind of break up. But then he comes back to the island in time for the opening, and I was like, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And I love that they're in love.
Yeah. Like we said earlier, so you don't see current Bill and Harry until about the hour mark, but it is so good when you do see them again, especially Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, they have this moment. Bill's that Bill's getting this award.
Yeah.
And then this next scene is this award ceremony.
Yeah.
And on stage is Fat Bill.
Yeah. With
this just big double chin. I was genuinely like, whoa, what a weird fucking decision for them to do.
Yeah.
And then you find out that what Bill has done is got his fat twin brother to receive his award so he can go to the island. And I was like, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
And they also have the good joke of him going to his mum, look, the only thing to do is not let him tell the goat story.
Yeah.
And then just immediately cut to him starting to tell the goat story.
Brilliant. It's gags like that, right? That are they're so simple, but they're just done so well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because you don't even hear what the goat story is.
No.
You don't need to.
It just goes, I have a very funny story.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you will all love it.
Brilliant.
Also, I loved Harry's bit as well. That, because, again, I love Harry more than anything in this world.
He's probably your favourite character.
I think he might be. Yeah. Because as I'm talking about him, I'm falling in love with him more and more.
Yeah,
even though he's
I think you probably feel about Harry as I do about young Donna. You're not quite there yet, but I think you're getting there.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But I love he's in Japan, in Tokyo, having this meeting, sorting out a contract, where he falls asleep because it's so boring.
Yeah.
And then he literally just has this moment where he sees that this other director has, like, a photo of his family. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, this is my wife and daughter. And then Harry just goes, he's like, yeah, well, my daughter's, like, the most important thing to me. And then sits down. And then they start trying to have the meeting again. And then he goes, no, she is the most important thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
Sign the contract, I'm going. And everyone's like, sorry, what? And he just leaves. And it's great.
Yeah, it is. Also, I like how when you see young Donna and young Bill help, is it Julio maybe? Who's...
No, it's like Alejandro or something.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
quite that. Alec something.
Yeah. Helping a Greek guy get to someone that's getting married, but he loves her and he can't let her go ahead. And then they meet him later on. And I love the scene where he's like addressing this room, this story, and you don't see the room.
Yeah.
And Bill sort of is like, yeah, he's trying to get into it. And then it cuts to the room who are paying them zero attention.
Yeah, that is a very good scene.
It's, yeah.
Yep.
It's rare for sequels to just improve on the original as successfully as this does.
There is one problem with this film that I didn't like.
I think I know what you're going to say. I didn't find it a problem, but go ahead.
I know you don't. I don't like the fact that Cher is in this film. I don't mind Cher. That's not the problem. But her character is this... For 2 films, they've spoken about Donna's mum, who's this horrible woman who, like, abandoned Donna.
In all honesty, in the first film, it's heavily implied she's dead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, I think my mum up there is like cursed, essentially.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, interesting.
But even then, like, throughout the second one as well, then, so they're basically implying that this woman basically abandoned Donna when they found out she was pregnant. Donna was just like, I'm done with it. I don't care. I'm gonna live on the
before
island.
Then, really. Cause...
Yeah.
But
so they bring Cher in to play the mum in this film. She arrives right at the end with about 15 to 20 minutes to go of the film.
Yeah.
Turns up, says, I want to be a grandmother. I've realised I was wrong. Basically has that moment, which would have had a lot of payoff if we had seen Cher's character being a dick.
Yeah.
Which we haven't. She
Yeah,
just turns up and goes, I wish had been a good grandmother. Okay. Then she finds out that the hotel manager is this guy called Fernando, so that she can very quickly sing Fernando to him.
Yeah.
Who she knew when they were kids. They fall in love. And it's just like... So like I said earlier, the thing I love about this film is that it's all a singing. Like, some of them are good singers, but they're not professional singers as far as I can tell.
No.
Cher is. So when she sings Fernando, that's very much just Cher covering Fernando. Whereas everything else is like this sort of heartfelt karaoke style, almost like people just singing, and it's joyful. Cher is just singing Fernando.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's totally unnecessary to the film. And it's not, I'm not criticising her because she's fine in it. It's just such an unnecessary thing to be in the film.
I get that. I get the criticism. For me, it didn't really bother me. I didn't mind the scene. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I was like, yeah, it's a good joke. I like the gag. Fine. One thing I do want to say though is picking up on you talking about it being karaoke. I think a lot of people gave Pierce Brosnan criticism in the first one for his singing, and he probably is the weaker singer, but he's trying so hard.
No, I
don't care. And I actually thought in the second one he had improved a lot.
Apparently I heard that he was really anxious about doing the second one and didn't want many singing parts and I think that's because of the reaction it had gotten. But I agree with you. I think he's good. Not good, but I just think it's so heartfelt that you don't care.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Also, the choreography in the second one seems to have stepped up a little bit. Like, there's a few more group
in the first one.
scenes
You
where
have
everyone's...
a crowd of these Greek workers on the island who turn up for most of the songs, which is, can I quickly say, one of my favourite parts of that film is the Greek crowd. I love them. They just rock up for every song and it's great.
Yeah.
In the second one, it's much bigger set pieces of dancers. Like, there is literally a scene where Harry and Bill are coming over on a boat where there are maybe 4 fisherman ships full of people all doing a choreographed dance, which is very good.
That scene with Harry and Bill reenacting Titanic at the front of a boat and just dancing on the boats is just another just pure joy scene.
She has 3 good dads.
Yeah. She went from none to 3
a lot,
and it's amazing.
Exactly.
Also, for me, one of the absolute highlights is... So they do it in the first one, they do it again in the second. After the film, there's a bit of a song as the credits play. And in this one, this is one of my favourite ABBA songs, which I hadn't even heard of until I'd seen these films. but they cover Super Trooper.
I can't believe you don't know that.
And they
didn't know
have
that song before this. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'd never heard it before. And they join up the young
Yeah.
cast and the old cast to perform it. So good. Seeing like the young versions interact with the old versions as well in that scene, especially young and current Sam.
Oh yeah, that's
It's just
yeah.
it's fantastic.
It is.
Absolutely fantastic. It's just such a fun film.
Yeah. You do cry a lot more in number 2.
We
Number
do
2
need to
makes you
talk
cry a lot
about
more.
the kind of final like narrative scene because it's one that Amanda tweeted to me about. I'm going to read Amanda's tweet first, and then I want to hear your...
Is this in the church?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, during my hashtag Liam's Girls Night In Twitter feed,
Yeah.
I tweeted saying, I don't think I'm emotionally prepared for the church baptism scene, because I knew what was coming,
Yeah.
and I knew I wasn't ready for it.
Nope.
And Amanda tweeted saying, I'm apparently a monster, and laughed in this scene. And I responded with a gif from Community of Chan saying, ugh, you're the worst. And Amanda said, Ghost Meryl Streep was too over the top for me, but half the people in the theatre I was in were crying, and I responded saying, I would have been in that half.
Yep.
Ellie's responses to that scene.
I also would have been in that half because I just cried for that whole scene.
It's because like
beautiful.
it was another one. You know how like I said I wasn't sure if they were going to get like Colin Firth back and
yeah.
right. It's another one where
She's
Meryl
not
Streep,
been in the whole film.
No, you see pictures of her.
Yeah.
And I spent the whole film being like, are they going to somehow find a way of bringing Meryl Streep back? And they do for that scene, and it's just
It's also the like so you've got the two timelines going on, the two stories being told of young Donna and Sophie, who are about maybe not the same age. I think young Donna's probably the same age Sophie was in the first film.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
maybe 10 years difference now. But you have these two stories going along, and that moment in the church unites both stories because you have the one story where young Donna walks into the church holding Sophie to get her baptised, and then in the current timeline you have Sophie bringing her daughter in to be baptised, and then you have like a scene where young Donna walks up to the baptismal bowl thing, looks at her reflection becomes the current Donna, who is now dead, then it zooms out and you're back to Sophie, and then they have like a beautiful moment where they just sing, and like I legitimately just cry because it's very beautiful and I was very emotionally unprepared for it.
Yes. Yeah. Picture me, right?
Yep. 2 bottles of wine in, covered in sweets.
Not even that. Picture me in the summer of 2018.
Yep.
Sat in a cinema.
With you just crying.
There were lots of like, you could tell there were lots of like mums and daughters there.
Yeah.
Like, just the way they were, you could tell.
They would have been crying.
Just me there trying to like hold it in.
You should have just joined in and hugged one of the other groups. You should have just gone up to a mother and daughter and been like, it's just so beautiful.
It honestly is though. That's the
thing.
It
is. It's a genuinely, I thought, a beautiful scene of like, it's just so good. It is over the top.
Yeah, but
that's fine.
The whole thing is, right?
Yeah, it's a musical set in a Greek island singing ABBA.
Like part of the joy of it is how over the top it is. Although it has made me want to go to Greece.
Yeah, I've always wanted to travel anyway. I'll go to Greece with you.
Yeah.
Because it'd be fun. But I didn't finish this film and go, God, I want to visit Karakoke, or whatever it's called. It's not called Karakoke.
I don't necessarily specifically want to visit there. I just want to go to Greece. It's made me be like, yeah, I want to go there.
I do want to go, and this is a thing. I don't know if you know about this, Liam. There is a restaurant that is Mamma Mia themed. And what they do is every night you go there, you order your meal, and then around you is happening not the story of Mamma Mia, but a story set around the Mamma Mia sort of thing.
Right.
And I want to go and experience that because I imagine that would be very fun.
Where
but I do think I will find out. It was on The One Show, which is our American listeners, an English TV show that usually has garbage on it. But
yeah.
I want to go there, Liam. I am worried if we went, it would be me and you on a girls' night, along with a lot of other people on girls' nights.
That's fine.
We should invite Kat as well, because she'd hate it.
She wouldn't go. I can tell you for a fact.
We should trick Kat into going.
She would leave. She honestly would leave. So let me read out the rest of the email, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Kat sent in feedback.
So
on the 10 seconds she watched.
Well, bear in mind this is my birthday special, but She said, also, wondering if I should be concerned about your Mamma Mia Twitter escapades. I told my mum about them, And her response was, "He's a funny one, isn't he?" Yes, Mum. That's a way of putting it, I suppose. P.S. ABBA are the worst, and I lasted about 5 seconds when Liam tried to make me watch Mamma Mia before. I believe the words I said were, "Nope, I'm out," as I left the room. And this is the thing, right? And Amanda's tweeted being a bit sniffy about Mamma Mia 2 as well. I don't get how people can dislike this film, because it's so pure.
So, I guess if you genuinely hated ABBA, I could see you not liking this film. Like, I dislike ABBA.
Just get over yourself, though.
Well, no, I'm trying to give people reasons, Liam. Calm down.
Just get over yourselves.
Also, this is very much a you thing, where, like, if you like something, you can't understand why anyone else would ever hate it.
That is 100% true.
Yeah. There are people that don't like musicals.
No, there are things where I'm like, I kind of get it why someone wouldn't like this thing, even though I do.
Yeah, but that's probably because over years of your life, you've tried to show people it, and then they're like, "This is weird, Liam," and eventually you're like, "Well, I understand that other people think this is weird."
Yeah. Although I have noticed, like, one of my personal favourite things is when I genuinely fall in love with something that, like, I think people who sort of know me in passing would never in a million years think that's something that I would love.
Yeah, do you think people at work would be surprised to hear that you were a massive Mamma Mia fan?
Yeah, and like High School Musical fan. Exactly.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it just amuses me that is a thing, because I can't help how much I love these things.
Yeah, you genuinely do.
Yeah, which, I think when I first watched both Mamma Mia and the sequel, I think my initial ratings were like 3.5 out of 5 for each. But after watching them again, and this happened, like I said, with Greatest Showman, it happened with High School Musical, they've been bumped up. What was your rating for Mamma Mia? Here we go again.
It's a 4.5, and it only missed out on the 5 because I wasn't a massive fan of the Cher stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. Not with the Cher stuff necessarily.
It's also not a perfect film, but
it's a 4.5. It's close to perfect.
Yeah,
it's very close. But
let's wait for Liam's third watch of Mamma Mia 2, where it becomes a 5.
Well, you never know. Like I say, I think my issue was more just Sky is the character I struggle with the most, and even though he's again hardly in it, even when he does come back, a part of me is like, I kind of wish you'd just find someone better.
Sky's fine.
He is, but in a film where the characters are all so good, he is like probably the weakest.
I'd marry young Sky. Donna. I'd marry Sky and Sophie in a three-way marriage.
I don't really want to share her.
I want to be best friends with Harry. Yeah, I would.
If you ever get married, I would like it to be Mamma Mia themed.
I will not have a Mamma Mia themed wedding, but I will invite you to a hen party, which will be Mamma Mia themed for part of it.
I can maybe deal with that.
I'll have a proper hen party where it's all women, and then you can play one of the stag guys in their masks
and flippers.
Yeah. You can do the little dance on the pier.
I think they all have their tops off, so I need to get back to the gym pronto. I'm really pleased you enjoyed these films.
Yeah, I did. As I've been saying for ages, I know. I knew I would enjoy them.
But for someone that doesn't like ABBA, you can see why there would be an element of
but that doesn't matter because it's a musical.
Matter, but let's just talk to Kat about how it does matter. Apparently.
Well, I don't want to say anything to Kat because she'll judge me for liking it.
Yeah, sure. Amanda sent us some tweets about these films. She said Colin Firth on screen is always a delight, but there wasn't enough of him.
That's fair.
Yeah, and apart from Amanda, responding to my hashtag Girls Night In, she did say that she admits Lily James is good in the film. So I watched sing-along version.
I saw that you were doing that.
And I said, do you really need the words on the screen to sing along? And the answer I gave to Amanda is, no, I don't, but I thought the videos that I were putting on Twitter might benefit from it for people on Twitter to join in.
Which is fair.
Yeah. I had a really fun night watching these and drinking 2 bottles of wine.
It did look like you had a fun night.
I'd be up. If Kat is ever away again and you want to come over for a Mamma Mia theme tonight,
I'm fine.
I'm down.
You do need to hire a very attractive Greek man to serve us drinks.
That could be hard.
Well, I'm going quickly off the idea.
No, I'm sure we can manage serving our own drinks and just watching these films, and you can enjoy Harry and I can enjoy Donna. It'd be great. That was it for my birthday special for another year.
Listeners, I have been excited this whole episode. I've honestly, I think I've done a good thing for the Christmas special. So this is a little bit like my birthday present to Liam. So as listeners know, we're coming up on the Christmas special. It's the next episode, probably coming out. I don't want to say it will come out on Christmas Eve. That is when it's meant to go out, but it might come out, a couple of days after Christmas.
I mean, it'd be good if you... Well,
no one's going to listen on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
No, I know. So, what I'm trying to say is, depending on how long it takes you to turn this one around, try and get it out for before Christmas Eve.
That's not leaving me a whole lot of time.
Let's do a very...
Maybe.
Let's make a Christmas miracle.
Fuck off. No, fuck off.
And have a Nerd on Nerd episode that actually goes out early.
As we always do on Christmas, we fall back on the traditional Nerd on Nerd style, which was me and Liam both coming up with an idea, sharing our cultures, swapping them, some would say. And
that was the whole point, wasn't it? Like the first 6 episodes, it was you would suggest something, I would experience it. I would suggest something, you experience it. We'd get together and talk. The only reason we changed that, which is still a good idea, is because it was making the episodes go too long.
Yeah, I mean, look at us now. We already, on short episodes, record for 2 hours and release 2-hour episodes.
So imagine if we did 2 lots of culture swaps each
it would be
episode.
A lot longer.
Yeah.
So, for Christmas, we do fall back to that old style.
So expect a long episode.
For the last couple of years, Liam has been doing Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah.
And we're working our way through that series. So I believe this year I'm getting...
You are getting Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Better Watch Out.
We're not happy with this one. We're waiting for 4, right?
4's my favourite. But again...
And then you think 5 is good as well.
Yeah, I think you'll like
weird.
5.
Yeah. Okay.
Slight caveat, when I did first watch these, it was back in like the days when I was watching Feast. So who knows how it holds
so
up.
They could all be crap.
But you enjoyed the second one last year.
I did. The second one is a good film, and we have fun watching it.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, have not had a running theme. It's hard to get
It's supposed to be Christmas movies that I haven't seen that I maybe should have. So we did The Grinch, Who Stole Christmas last year.
Yeah, exactly. We've done Elf, I believe.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus.
I did the trilogy and ruined everything.
Liam did a trilogy, and I only told him to do one film. And that episode was very long. I hated him for it. Maybe it's sort of like a punishment I've been doing all these years. Liam, for your birthday, I was like, fuck, I've got to get something good for Liam here. I've got to get something he's going to enjoy. So I have done a Nerd on Nerd first.
Okay.
I'm coming to the table with 3 choices.
Okay.
And you get to pick which of these gifts I'm going to give you.
Oh, jeez.
Now, Liam.
Yeah.
They are 3 books. I know, books are traditionally long. These ones are not. They are ranging from 28 pages to, I believe, the longest one is 35 pages.
Okay.
We're not talking about long books.
No.
So they'll be very quick to read. They're all on Kindle in the UK, so you can get hold of these.
Right.
I'm going to read you the titles of the 3 books you get to choose from.
Okay.
And then you get to decide which one we're going to do.
Okay.
Book 1. Santa Has a Huge Package by Kay Michaels.
By who, sorry?
By Kay Michaels.
Kay Michaels.
Yeah. Do you want me to give you a little bit of the plot summary for that one?
Not only me, but obviously the listeners need that.
Carrie was suffering the worst holiday season of her life. Catching her husband with his secretary, all she wanted was to throw him out. But she had to think about her children. She couldn't ruin their Christmas, so it would have to wait. She would have to sit at home while William pretended to work. But at least she had her fantasies, one of which included Jolly Saint Nick. That's book 1.
Okay.
So choice 1, Santa Has a Huge Package. Choice 2, this one. I don't really know how you're meant to read this title, but I'll try.
Okay.
Daddy Santa Gets a Hoe.
Okay. Who's that by?
Izzy Slam.
Who?
Izzy Slam. I think a lot of these people are using fake names.
Yep. Okay, I think so. Yeah.
This one says, since the man of the house is working 2 jobs to earn Christmas money, I figure it's time for me to do the same. And what better job to take than as Santa's helper? So that's a little taster of Daddy Santa Gets a Hoe.
Right, yeah.
The third one, I have done these in order of how funny I think their names are.
Okay,
so
go.
Get ready for this. Miss Claus Goes Sledding. Flick lodges his tongue, in brackets, holiday erotica with Sultry Miss Claus Book 1.
Book 1.
And this one's a series.
How many in the series?
I don't know.
Because this could be Nerd on Nerd content for years to come.
This one says, Miss Claus is heading to the slopes this evening at the notorious North Pole Club, where fun is recommended and sex is guaranteed. She's preened and prepped and looks hot in her velvet jumpsuit. Everyone in her path cannot fail to notice her beautiful looks. and her impressive cleavage.
Wow.
So those are your choices, Liam.
Who writes that one?
Oh, sorry. That's by Sable Ray.
Okay.
So you've got Santa Has a Huge Package, Daddy Santa Gets a Hoe, or Miss Claus Goes Sledding, Flick Lodges His Tongue, in brackets, Holiday Erotica with Sultry Miss Claus Book 1.
Yeah. It's a hard... I'm... Right, let me talk you through how I'm currently feeling about this. I'm nervous to start a book series when we have two other amazing options on the table.
That's true.
Because a book series, like what we're doing with Saturday Night, that could become a yearly tradition.
I mean, it's me.
It probably won't. No, I would want it to be, but it probably won't.
Well, wait till you read it first, because it might be shit.
I have a feeling all of these will be.
Sorry, there is more to these summaries. I only read the first paragraph. I did just glance at the last paragraph of Miss Claus Goes Sledding.
Yeah.
The last paragraph in the description is, Flick, a self-proclaimed tongue master, is heavily into oral sex, much to Miss Claus's delight. Orgies and exhibitionism is all the rage inside the lodge, making it one of Miss Claus's most memorable nights ever. Just to,
okay.
Don't want to sway your vote, but...
I feel like you want me to pick the last one.
I maybe do, but it's your birthday gift. I mean, also, Daddy Santa Gets a Hoe is a great name for a book. I mean, and Santa Has a Huge Package.
That's the one that I'm most like. I like the sound of that one, but I think I might have to go for the third one just to make you happy.
Thanks, Liam. It's going to be a good Christmas.
That's sort of my Christmas gift to you.
We will be reading Miss Claus Goes Sledding.
So are you going to read this as well?
Tongue. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we do this. We both do.
No, yeah, exactly.
I will, Liam, admit that there was originally a fourth option, but it has since been, or not since, it has been removed from Kindle and you cannot find it anywhere. And this one, you wouldn't have had a choice if this was available. Okay. This book was called Penetrating Claws, The Private, in brackets, and Uncensored, end brackets, Confessions of Toysin Tinkerbottoms, in brackets,
and
Erotic Fairy Tale.
Anywhere online.
You cannot get it. If anyone finds a copy of that book, send it to me, because I will read the shit out of it. When young and inexperienced Toysin Tinkerbottoms manages to land a dream job at Santa's workshop, all is not as it seems when the seductive Mrs. Claus takes a lustful interest in the handsome elf. This is a whole genre, Liam. Christmas erotica.
It's amazing. It's inspiring. I'm picking what we do for our next anniversary special, and I'm currently leaning towards we write each other some Christmas erotica for the Christmas special.
We could do.
I'm going to need you to send me the title of the one that I've chosen, so I can, or just a link to it on Amazon.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
My only regret is that we don't have a huge listenership, because could you imagine how hilarious it would be if this just only saw a spike in sales?
It has no reviews on Amazon.
Well, we'll have to change that with just links to our episode discussing it.
Sorry, just very quickly. There is a similar book section on Amazon that says similar books, and then the book it's saying it's similar to is Miss Claus Goes Sledding, Flick Lodges His Tongue, Holiday Erotica with Sultry Miss Claus Book 1, which is the one that I'm currently looking at. So it is similar to itself.
Okay, well that's good. How many pages is this one that I've chosen?
You did pick the longest one, 35 pages. Okay. So it's going to be a tough read.
It's going to be a big read.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
Oh, you'll also enjoy the pictures on the front. They're very good.
Fantastic. Do we know if they were written by male or female?
I think possibly all three look like they were written by women.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean they were.
Yeah, pen names and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sable Ray's love. This is Sable Ray, the person that wrote ours. Her love for humour and the holidays has inspired most of the series she has written. Holy shit, there are so many books she has written, and all of them? No, a lot of them are Christmas related, and the others are just titled things like June, July, February.
Wow. The thing is, right, what makes me nervous about doing this is...
Holy shit.
You know, I got really into mumblecore, and I was like, I want to make a mumblecore film. And then I read some, of that Bizarro fiction. I was like, I've got some ideas for... I have always, in the back of my mind, been like, I would love to write some erotica. And I feel like this might be the inspiration I've been waiting for.
I really hope this does inspire you to do that. Because that would be hilarious.
Part of the whole... Our first anniversary special, where we wrote erotic fan fiction, was me channeling that. So it's
Yeah.
could be interesting. Could be interesting.
It could be. It's going to be good, Liam. It's going to be good.
How much is it on Kindle?
£2.99 for 35 pages.
Okay, let's hope it's good.
It's about 8p a page.
Okay, we'll find out. If any of our listeners want to play along,
Miss Claus Goes Sledding. Flick lodges his tongue. Holiday Erotica. Can't see the second book. Don't know.
I know
if it
Amanda
exists.
likes to try and kind of do our culture swaps with us.
Join in, Amanda. This one could be interesting.
Oh, then again, I don't think she's watched any of the Silent Night Deadly Nights. So
No, that's fair.
if she wants to give this a skip, I think we can forgive that.
I'm so excited.
Well, join us next time for... I mean, I feel like we've both taken the meaning of Christmas and warped it to our own needs. Like, I've given it a horror spin. You've given it whatever it's going to be. Spin.
Mild erotica, probably heavy erotica, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, what I did, like you said, I did the films that you should have seen already, like my childhood Christmas films that you hadn't seen. I've sort of run out of them. Like, I think you've seen most of the other ones. So I was like, this year I was like, oh, maybe I can find, like you said, a Christmas anime. Couldn't find many. There's a lot, but I was like, Liam's not going to enjoy them. We already know that. So I thought, what can I find that Liam might enjoy? You nearly got Twilight Christmas fanfiction.
Oh, okay.
Which was, according to the Cracked article that had it in it, a little bit too rapey. So we avoided that one.
We have so far this year covered a few problematic topics on Nerd on Nerd.
I'm hoping that this one won't be. Oh, it's good.
There could be interesting discussions depending on how deeply we read Silent Night Deadly Night 3.
Exactly. There we go. It's all going to be good. Tune in for the Christmas special. It's going to be good. I might buy some mince pies and eat them while we record.
I'll
have a glass of mulled
watch
wine.
that on Skype.
Oh yeah, you will. Yeah.
So
I'm going to be so Christmas. I'm going to get myself so Christmassy for you.
I'm not.
You're going to hate it.
So Kat's been belly aching for weeks now about getting a Christmas tree. Here's the thing.
You should get one.
I'm not hugely into Christmas. I like having time off work, but you know, it's Christmas. Whatever.
Why does it matter if you want? This is the thing I don't get about anti-Christmas people. People that you're not even anti-Christmas, you're just not into it. So why does it matter if you get a tree?
If you let me finish the story.
Well, no, I'm angry. You've made me angry too quickly.
Well, let me finish my story then.
Okay,
so Kat's been belly aching for ages about getting a tree, and I was like, look, if that's what you want to spend your money on when we've got bills to pay, then fine. Treat yourself. Turns out my mum found out that she had a spare Christmas tree in her garage, which she's given to us.
How tall? How tall are we talking? What
6
sort of
foot.
Oh, nice. Like it. 6 foot tree.
It's a big
Classic.
old tree. It's a big old tree. So yesterday, Kat was about to leave. It's Kat's mum's birthday today, which is why she's not around, and I had my girls' night in last night. Yesterday at lunchtime, my mum comes over with the tree, and there's me and my mum. It's one of those trees that you have to put like the branches on and build it up, right? Me and my mum building this for Kat while she's just sat there eating her lunch because she's about to drive back home, and I just am like, something's gone wrong here. So, you know, you might listen to this episode and you might hear me say, yeah, I've got a girlfriend, but hey, I'd marry Lily James. Look, I'm still not the worst boyfriend. I don't want a tree. Kat's got a tree. I helped build it. If Lily James wanted a tree, I'd buy her whatever she wanted. Just saying.
I still think that
I
might
would
mean you're the
chop
worst
down a
boyfriend.
tree for Lily James and drag it through the snow.
Yeah, so that means you're a
back
bad
to
boyfriend
her.
for Kat. Anyway, if you want to get in contact with us and berate Liam for his poor life choices, you can tweet us.
No, you'd need to email that. You wouldn't have enough characters on Twitter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Use Twitter for just normal communication. Like, you guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
Twitter is @nerdonnerd. Email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can Facebook us, facebook.com/nerdonnerdpod, all one word.
YouTube.
Doesn't say all one word. YouTube, you can search Nerd on Nerd, all one word.
Yeah, that would get you to us.
Name assures me. Rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah.
Little
birthday present
for Liam.
or early Christmas present for both of us.
Well, no, don't say that, because then we get to milk that one for the next episode.
Yeah.
Next
birthday
episode
present
we can
for
be
me.
like, oh, Christmas present, rate us. See?
Perfect. Makes sense.
Come on, Liam.
Very smart.
Thank you.
That's it, really.
I think that's
Happy
it.
birthday
I think we're all good.
to me.
Happy birthday to Liam. Indeed.
Bye.
Bye.